Okay, and welcome back everyone to Strange Planet Podcast. And as we continue on the series finale of America, I must say there's something rather disturbing besides the corruption that's come to light. I mean, you have to be fucking blind not to see this realistically, but anytime there is a congressional hearing, and obviously a Republican is, whether it's a congressman, whether it's douchebag Pete Hegseth or whoever it may be, but it's always someone on the right. And the question comes up as to who won the 2020 election. You don't get an answer. They just duck and dodge, or they try to reword the answer to make it sound like it's answered, but it's really not. And then despite whoever's the one challenging for the answer, you never get it. So if this doesn't show you what the real TDS is, I don't know what else will, because this is clearly a cult. And every time you see this, these people are pledging loyalty to Trump, not you. Remember that. So, guys, what do you think about this insanity? And tell me you've seen this as well, too, because there's no way I'm the only one that saw this bullshit. This is a constant, I noticed. It's been happening quite frequently recently.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you have the support of Trump to be nominated for something, you have to buy into his delusion that he that he won the 2020 election. And just for people that don't know, he lost. It was fair and square. You may not get the same story from the president or his allies, but he lost. I mean, plain and simple. When Hillary lost in 2016, even though she won the popular vote, what did she do? She conceded the election.
Right.
When Kamala Harris lost in 2024, what did she do? She conceded the election.
Right.
In 2020, when Donald Trump lost, what did he do? Not only did he not concede ever, he threw a temper tantrum and got a whole bunch of people to go down to Washington and storm the Capitol.
Yep.
Now, as far as the people that he nominates, and they're presented with this question, because let's face it, like, Democrats have moved on from the 2020 election. Trump was reelected in 2024. The only person that still brings this up, other than the media, because they're asking, these questions, or on the Hill, because, they want to know whether this person has been compromised. The only people asking, or the person bringing this up, is Trump. Trump keeps relitigating this. He can't let it go. He thinks he won. He did not, but he just can't let go of the fact that he lost. And so he's made it into this weird thing where anyone that, he nominates that has the support to be put into a position will go along with Trump's delusion and say, hey, either they say that Trump won, or there was cheating, or whatever, or they're more serious, they'll try to get clever with it and say, oh, well, Trump was certified as the winner of the election.
Yep. That's the more recent one I've been hearing.
It just does not. It's just a waste of taxpayer money at these hearings, because you're supposed to be there to answer questions in an honest and forthright manner, and that's not what's happening. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars that these people can't answer a simple fucking question.
Yo, like, you ain't kidding. And then the saddest part of the whole thing is these people, as of right now at least, up until, well, no, actually it's still, I haven't heard any rebuttals otherwise, at least not yet. But these people still get to hold on to their positions. So let's put that into our world in a sense. Say you go to work, right? And your boss asks you a question and you don't answer it. How do you think that's going to go and work out in the end? You think you're going to have your job? That's what I'm just, winging it here. How do you think that's going to work out? You know what I
Not
mean?
very well.
Exactly, exactly. So that shows you the kind of shit show we're dealing with here.
But look,
It really is.
politicians have always dodged questions they don't want answered. They don't want to
But
answer at hearings and stuff, right?
there's a line.
Exactly.
There's a line, and I remember seeing one recently, and it wasn't Headset, whatever the fuck his name is. It was somebody for like the intelligence office, which is mind-boggling because you ask him a question straight up, "Hey, who won the election?" This is supposed to be the intelligence office,
Right.
and he went straight to, "Oh, I'm not getting into that.
Imagine that.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing for the drama." And it's just like, oh, I'm just asking you a question. Who did President Trump win the 2020 election? Yes or no? I'm not answering that question. And he kept hammering until the guy flipped it. And like, I already answered that question. Like, no, you didn't. You did not answer the question.
Right, exactly.
And now that you've danced on it and you got yourself pinned to a wall, you claimed you already answered it. But you didn't answer it. Oh, time's up, sir. The fuck? That's my time. And that's
Imagine
what the whole situation. It's like they stonewall these people asking them questions to the point of like, oh, your time's up. Okay, bye, Democratic Senator. Who's next to ask me a question? And then you have one like from when Coney Barrett was up for her fucking judge for the Supreme Court. Lied. Oh, I'm not going to vote on Roe versus Wade. What did she do?
Of course.
She voted.
Contradiction. Yeah, just like the Trump.
She voted with the 6.
Yeah, of course.
The other 5.
That was almost expected, realistically. And plus, she's like a
die-hard
Catholic.
It gets to the point where they can lie there on a congressional hearing
and get away with it.
Isn't that punishable by perjury, or is it like kind of a thought that is perjury in there versus like being up in a court?
Well, I mean, you also have Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh yeah, I mean we could name names forever. I'm just trying to prove a point that who
has something in common with Donald Trump.
And it's just that you get all these politicians who can lie
and get away with it too.
Continually lie and lie to your face.
Of course,
your face, regardless of your Democrat or Republican.
Exactly, that doesn't even matter at this point.
He thinks you're stupid enough to like believe him. And a lot of you are.
Yeah.
A lot of you are stupid enough to believe him. I'm sorry.
That was well said. It's true.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yes, it is your fault.
Well, in part,
it is your fault.
Hold on.
Yeah, in part.
Hold on.
They're misled.
If you're only look, I'm gonna prove the Pleasantville point right here.
Pleasantville point. Go ahead.
Where if you're not shown what's beyond your scope, you don't know what's out there.
That's fair.
If they're only shown in their media areas, Donald Trump claiming to be the white knight, freeing everyone from the democratic, transgendered, baby-eating reptilian people who live in pizzerias.
Yeah, I remember that bullshit.
That's what you're going to believe, because that's your option.
They don't have any other news, too, yeah.
More sophisticated, more smarter options. So in those areas, you got these people who are brainwashed because the media is fucked up in those areas, and it just shows them that, and they're like, okay, I'm going to take that with that because I trust my media.
Okay, but that is their fault because they have the option to choose to watch shit like Fox News. They have the option. They have the whole internet at their disposal.
Do they get Fox News in Alabama? You know what I'm saying? Like, I went down to Orlando years ago to visit, the one of the amusement parks there and have some fun with my family. We wanted to drive. It was fine. When we got into some of the more southern areas, the TV shows that were on there are not the same TV shows you see here in New York. Everything is not syndicated. So you're seeing different shit here than they're seeing over there. And that's why I'm saying it's an information fuck. Because they're going to show them different shit than they're not going to show New York. Because they know New York knows their shit. And everyone here is not stupid. Or is not, at least not easily taken over with the wool over our eyes. Because, we know, oh, hey, I'm not going to take everything you tell me for the truth. I'm going to go research it myself. Most people just live their blue-collar lives and don't want to have to deal with all that bullshit. Just want to come home, have their wife put a hot meal on their plate, on their fucking table, and just click the news for 5 minutes. Oh, these fucking Democrats again, because that's all they're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they should open the horizons, but there needs to be a way for us as Democrats or as Americans in general to open those horizons for the rest of the country. Each state is a different ecosystem. It's like another world when you go to a different state.
He's
I mean,
got
New
a
Jersey-
point with that. He
New
does.
New Jersey's not that different because it's kind of like New York.
Well, the
And
Northeast is
Massachusetts is kind of a different New York. It's all the same over here, but when you get further in and further down to all these other further kind of southern Midwestern states, it becomes a whole new world. And it's not Aladdin taking you on this fucking ride. It's Carl Jr. and all his friends.
Sure.
Well, one thing I
But
will say though, Rook is right about that, because in the end, they're still choosing to believe that them lies in the end.
Yes.
Sure, it's all they're fed. But
they need, see, that's the thing. They need their eyes open to what he is. And
yeah,
the problem is they didn't have enough information to see that. Hopefully now, given the fact that he's taken out Roe v. Wade, he's fucking trying to get Social Security, he's trying to get education, he's trying
cancer
to
research.
he's taking all your tax money and everything you're putting in, your roads, your food, your fucking government. He's taking all that money and he's trying to put it in with all his crony dudes and all his rich friends.
And himself.
Where do you think the tax cuts come from? They come from the programs that keep the lower areas, the rural areas, afloat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not brain surgery, but at the same time, it's not something the everyday American knows. And information is power, and if you throw the information, you have the power.
No, and you make a good point. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you have a responsibility for your own mind and the information that you let into it. And only, you can say that someone can open someone else's mind to things, and maybe that's true, but ultimately, a person is responsible for their own mind and their own choices. And just, we're not letting people off the hook who have chosen to ignore. It's not that they don't know that other information is out there. It's that they're actively choosing to ignore it. They're actively choosing to say, oh, we're not going to watch MSNBC or we're not going to watch CNN, even though CNN is not liberal at all.
Yeah,
it's more
hardly.
It's more like an entertainment arena.
It's a circus.
Where gladiators from different sides, are allowed to say whatever they want for entertainment value. Whereas Fox News is just straight up, parroting whatever the president wants them to say. MSNBC, liberal, but fact-based, very fact-based. The difference is that, the reason they're liberal is because of their story selections. They will select stories that appeal to liberals, but then they will present things in a factual way. Whereas Fox News selects stories that appeal to Republicans, but they don't necessarily adhere to facts.
No.
They're very misleading. They don't give viewers the full story about things.
Exactly.
Or any alternative viewpoints.
And that's where my point's trying to come in, where it's that there's keeping these facts from people. Now, you can say it's up to the people to go find the facts. But when they don't have the ability to find the facts,
they have most people. Most people own cell phones. Come on,
that is
people
true.
Own cell phones.
The problem is they like to listen to Facebook. That's why.
First,
and guess where Zuckerberg's
this is where there's a number of things that I think are working against us in this area. It's built-in racism to some people. That's generational racism that I hate this color because of this. And I'm just saying that in general, because it's on more than one side.
Sure.
Let's get past semantics on that and move on to the next thing. It's the misinformation that I agree with you. It is on people to try to get better information, but at the same time, first impressions. They hear their governor, who they could talk to down the street, or their mayor, who talk to down the street, and they're, oh yeah, Trump's the man. Trump's for you. Trump's for this and that. okay. And then you see the commercials. Oh, he seems great. He's got a 6-pack and he's got full head of hair and he's got
He's Jesus Christ now.
guns and he's casting holy spells on people. Whatever.
Right? The fucking circus, but go on.
I mean, you can't expect people to get away from what in their area seems to be good. Not everyone's going to go and try to be like, the hero. Oh, I'm going to figure it out and find the real truth. No one cares for the truth anymore, or morals, or all that kind of
morals
stuff.
are out the window.
It's to the point where everyday American is like, what's in it for me? And that's what it boils down to, because at this point, they do owe us. The government, does owe us, because we've been fucking flipping their bill for God knows how long, and they've done nothing but fuck us.
Yeah,
for basically. The last how many decades?
Yeah, granted, at least 3.
Not everybody has been doing it, but to some degree, it's been getting worse and worse and worse, and it's mostly on the Republicans.
It's entirely, just about.
While yes, the Democrats will put things in perspective with facts, but as you can see behind me, you can see it's round. But some fucking people think it's flat.
Yep.
So right there, it proves to you that facts don't matter to most people, and that's going to be the problem, because then you have some real idiots controlling the country, or at least pushing the ideas of the country and voting for things like Trump. I say thing, but move on. And now we have a battle of information. Now we have a battle of facts. But Republicans, they're not fact-based. They're emotion-based. And that's how they get you. They get you right here. Like, Democrats are for they, them.
Yep.
That's fucking brilliant marketing. I have to fucking say. That's brilliant marketing, because it really makes it simple.
Maybe.
Makes it understandable.
It wouldn't appeal to me.
And
we're intelligent.
You're
that's why.
Intelligent, knowledge, well-informed person. For the person who's not well-informed, or the person who's ignorant,
or easily swayed,
it's just sophisticated enough and just simple enough to hit you in the heart and be like, yes.
Yeah, some people
to be the way it was, where it was just male and female.
Some people,
and if you had to get to bisexual and gay, there was there too, and that was it.
Yeah,
that's all you had. And I mean, granted,
those people stay closeted and not a part of public life, I guess.
But that's the beauty of this country, is to be able to do that, to be able to sit in your hut in the middle of the woods and pretend it's fucking 1842, and you're cutting your wood and you're hunting your squirrels, and you're basically living off the land, which is illegal now, but whatever.
Yeah, right. What's legal anymore now?
Yeah, right. Seriously,
yeah, it's a fucking circus, man.
But like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's come down to where everybody is poor, middle class, and that's shrinking even more.
If there even is
well-to-do, to the rich, to the wealthy, to the 1%ers. Now the 1%ers are trying to keep everything for themselves, so they're sucking it from the middle class, and making sure that the rich get their tax breaks, so they can continue the money loop and make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
They get greedier and greedier and greedier. Now you look
never enough.
You look at the stock market. While the stock market is necessary to keep the economy afloat and running and everything, the fact that it all has to stay in the black is what's hurting the working class. Now the working class can't make enough money to fucking survive, so they have to start getting second jobs, whereas the poor people don't have to do shit, and they get paid to sit on their ass, eating steaks, giving them to their dogs. Because why? Because they're on welfare. Now, granted, some of the Republicans want to do away with welfare, which will just put people on their ass. And they actually did something of that effect, where they took some stuff away from people, and people were like, "Now I can't fucking feed my family because they got."
God forbid they take the tax cuts away, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We could have kept the welfare and took that away. It had a big difference in outcome.
Where we're at, but I don't want to get into those semantics now, because it's an age-old battle that apparently we're not going to win. How do we go ahead from here? As Democrats, as even independents who just don't want to be Republicans, or even Republicans who just want to be the regular Republicans who just are conservative and not extra conservative. I mean, you're in the industry, Rook. How do you feel like we can go forward from here?
Yeah, seriously, that's a good question.
Well, I mean, in order to go forward, obviously there's always elections, right?
And that's big. That's everybody within my earshot. Snippet this, send it to the world. yes, voting is something that it's a task, it's a process, it's something that is a pain in the ass. But we have to do that as a collective for the better.
And we haven't been
Be
doing that.
informed. If you can't be informed, do your best to be informed and make your best vote. That's what we need, our best vote. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, voting is really important, and as long as we have a democracy, we have to continue to do it. However, I think moving forward is going to be difficult because, as you described, the kind of information bubbles that people are in are extremely hard to penetrate. There are, it's even worse in the social media age you described, television, but a lot of people are getting their information from the internet and social media. And so those bubbles are extremely hard to penetrate because they're in, someone's hand, 24/7. And that kind of information loop is very hard to penetrate. And if you live in an area in which, all your friends are Republicans and, because that's pretty much, how people have sort of segregated themselves in this country. Some areas maybe more purple than either red or blue, but for the most part, there are just like, very people have, and even if they are surrounded by, people of different parties or political perspectives, they don't associate with them. And so it's very difficult to prescribe a solution on a macro level. I think what's going to need to happen is people changing on a micro level and making an effort in their own circles to, try and open people's eyes. But I don't think, some people may be too far gone. It may take some type of catalyzing event to show what a monster Trump is. I mean, obviously January 6th happened and that didn't wake them up to it.
And the Epstein
It may have woke
files.
some people up to it, and obviously the Epstein files.
That's the thing. The Epstein files are still under wraps, so we don't know for sure. I mean, we know.
Oh, we know. Yeah, we know.
We don't have like the actual but you have evidence. Like, well,
yeah, we got to wait till Democrats get power in order
we have
to
these
see
papers with all these black lines on them, and if we could just get the rest, we'll know.
Right. I mean, there's obviously Epstein obviously recorded a lot of people, like video recordings.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of those have been released. Obviously, you don't want to release, graphic, material to the public. But if there are, prominent people that are in positions of power or in positions to influence power, then we need to know that they're on these videos and a description of what is contained in those videos.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they're just not they're compromised in that they know that information exists somewhere and they're able to be bribed using that information. So whatever videos or whatever Trump may be in, obviously, if someone has knowledge of that, they have power over Trump.
Basically.
And same with, the rest of Trump's buddies or whoever is in those videos. There are like an astronomical, amount of data that is in those files, but just hasn't been released or even released in a descriptive sense. Say this is what they contain. This is who they show. This is what they're doing.
See, the problem though with the whole Epstein file thing is the wrong party managed this, because you could tell the way it was presented was to cover his ass and all the billionaires that were involved. It couldn't be any more obvious. You know what I mean? Like things that weren't supposed to be redacted, names, emails, things like that were. You know what I mean?
Things that were supposed to be redacted
weren't exactly.
Names. Like, really?
Yeah, like it was so like obviously the biggest cover up in American history. It really is.
And it's funny because we were told flat out that the FBI went through it,
right,
and spotted Trump's name, or were supposed to spot Trump's name in it. They were looking for his name in it. Did we ever get an update on that?
Nope.
Why?
Not at all.
Because it must have been in there several 100,000 times or whatever. I mean, speculation.
Thousands of times I heard his name shows up in there.
Well, no, just even in the already publicly released documents, yes, he appears in there thousands of times.
Right. So imagine what we're not seeing.
Yeah, of course. They're not going to show us because it's like you said. This involves the 1%.
Exactly.
And they're going to do everything in their power to get what they want, and Trump's doing their bidding.
Yeah.
Through and through.
Well,
through and through.
If you think
about it, he's making money off of it.
Yeah, they've had decades of being able to get tax cuts, so they have plenty of money to pay them off at this point. You know what I mean? So, so that's probably what's happening, because money, basically is not only the root of all evil, but the foundation of American cover-ups now. Pretty much, that's what we're seeing here.
It's funny to look back at Nixon, be like, he's the Boy Scout.
Yeah, compare it to this shit. Or Bill Clinton's blowjob. Remember that?
Really? Watergate is better than this?
Yeah.
Like this is what the country's come to. So I don't know.
And okay, everyone, that's all we got for this week on Strange Planet Podcast.
Be
sure to like, share, and subscribe. New episodes will be every Friday on YouTube. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.